Unscripted.
Unshackled.
Uncouth.
What you're about to hear is for mature audiences only.
It's Miguel Fuller.
Holly O'Connor.
And Scotty the Body.
It's the Miguel and Holly Uncensored podcast.
Only on Hot 101.5.
Hello, good morning or afternoon, evening, whenever you listen to the podcast. Miguel, Holly, and Scotty the Body. We've got a special guest joining us here in just a second, which is really cool as we have been celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month.
That's right.
We did like a Latin Vibes weekend on Hot 101.5 if you live locally in the area, which is really cool. So we will be talking to her here in just a second. But first, I want to say thank you to the fam members and the Platypus Posse that have hopped on to our Miguel and Holly Platypus Posse Facebook group.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
That's in basically it's a group that's inside of the Facebook page.
Yeah.
So if you type in Miguel and Holly fam or Platypus Posse, it'll come up.
Also, if you go to, like, if you're looking at the Facebook page, the main Miguel and Holly Facebook page, there's like a row of buttons that you can click on, and one of them just says more because there's a lot more stuff than they have room for. If you click on more, that's where you can find the group too.
Oh, okay.
And I just logged in because I was just adding members today.
Oh.
And Bossman Will is in the group.
Oh.
And he just posted 10 minutes ago, you really decided to let me in here? This could be trouble.
Oh, you bad bee.
Yes. Come on in. Come on in.
Well,
Come on in.
Oh, shouts out back to that.
Oh, I love it. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get Snow on. Now, what's really cool is we're gonna be completely transparent. I don't know much about her. She is a rapper that has a show happening at Jannus Live here locally.
This week on the 7th.
This week on the 7th. And so I don't know much about her music. And so I've been sort of digging some research quickly to sort of get caught up. But I'm really curious to hear about her story because, well, I'll ask when she gets on, but the way she started rapping and like what she wanted to do originally and what she's doing now, it's like two completely separate spectrums. And so I'm really curious on about like living your dream because we always talk about taking leaps of faith and
100%.
following your dreams and like where she comes from and where she is today. It's really interesting. So let's go ahead and get her on the phone, Scott. Hello, is this Snow?
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, Snow the product.
No, hold on. We're getting her on right now.
I'm just kidding.
Okay, perfect. It's always so funny the behind the scenes part of interviews.
There's always like 5 levels that you have to go through to actually talk to an artist.
Mhm.
First, it's like the first manager.
Right.
And they're like, well, I can put you on with the second manager. I'm going to send you around back and go down a dirt road. Then you're going to find another
The
manager.
secret knock.
I always feel like it's like an old school phone patch system.
Yes.
Hey guys, have Snow on.
Oh, perfect.
Snow the product. Welcome to Miguel and
Yeah.
Holly Uncensored.
Thank you. Hey, how you guys doing?
Wonderful.
good.
Wonderful. So you have a show coming up here in Tampa Bay and St. Pete on October 7th at Jannus Live. Have you been to the area before?
Yeah, definitely. Last year,
Oh.
I had a blast. I think it was not last year. 2 years ago, I guess, before the whole COVID thing happened.
Oh.
And I guess life's been on pause. For a couple years, but yeah, I'm super excited to come back. And I love Tampa. I'm actually in Florida early, and I'm probably gonna make my way over there a little bit early. So yeah, I'm excited.
Oh,
Wonderful.
that's awesome.
Now, if
Yeah.
people are sort of unfamiliar with your music and who you are as an artist, how would you describe yourself, like a little elevator pitch to someone who's new to Snow the product?
I would say a little bit alternative rap. Like even if I have a lot of fans that don't necessarily listen to rap, but they listen to rock. And some Spanish, just some party atmosphere. If you're trying to kind of have a good time, like we do a lot of crowd surfing, piñata breaking, twerking. Like the show is just really full energy, and I try to give people an experience because whether you're a fan or not, like I just want you to have a good time and just remember that, next time I'm in town, you're going to have a blast.
So all of that is happening at Jannus when you come here, just literally just a couple of days. You're going to be breaking piñatas. Are there anything in the piñatas that people like get?
Sometimes it depends, you know. There's sometimes there's candy, sometimes there's money, sometimes there's nuts. A lot of times there's just champagne all over the place. To be honest, so yeah, it's just that I like to live that rock star type lifestyle. So it's gonna be fun.
That's so awesome. We're talking to Snow the Product. That's going to be here at Jannus Live October 7th. So I was sort of going over your career and your beginnings, and you have really humble beginnings where your parents legally immigrated from Mexico and you went to San Jose.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
what do they think about your career? I mean,
And the trajectory of how it's gone.
Talk about like living the American dream.
Yeah, well, at the beginning, they didn't necessarily understand why I wanted to be a rapper, why I didn't choose the college route. But after a while, I'm like, once I brought my mom on stage and she saw all the fans and she saw kind of, I'm doing okay. I take care of my brother, my cousin, my family. Like I employ, a few of my friends and, some of my family. So it's like, it's become like a real business where she can feel like we're actually safe, like, and we're good. Yeah, they love it now. And then, a Latin Grammy nomination doesn't hurt for them to be proud. So now we're good.
Yeah,
That's right.
Bringing those hardware nominations and moms, dads, whoever, gonna be like, oh,
They
never
start
mind.
to see it paying off a little bit.
We always knew. Like,
And now they're on board.
Yeah.
I love it. Now, I know that after college, you attended San Diego Mesa College, that you wanted to become a social worker?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's what I went to school. I after high school, like I wanted to go to college. I wanted to become, a social worker. I wanted to just help because, like I said, I come from kind of humble beginnings. So I got a lot of help from social workers, like as far as like counseling and stuff like that, because when my parents got divorced or, any situation that I was going through. So I really felt like the reason that I kind of was able to get out of, the mentality and the place that I kind of started was because I just kind of got a helping hand. So I want to help other people. And then eventually, when I did music, I kind of wanted to help, young people of color and, everybody else by just kind of talking and kind of the way that I talk in my interviews, the things I say, and then I also talk to a lot of fans. Like I respond to a lot of DMs whenever they're telling me they're going through depression, anxiety, all these things that I kind of already went through. I take it very seriously, and I kind of, at least can listen, and like talk to people. And I think I've been able to do both now, even though I'm a rapper and I got the rock star stuff and whatever. Like a lot of my fans do go through a lot of the same things I did. So I just kind of try to give some advice, and I think I'm doing an all right job as far as being a net positive human being,
Yeah.
especially if you're responding to a bunch of DMs, because it's for you to probably go through your social media on your own is an entire job, like hours. I can't imagine. And then crafting a message to, fans that are truly struggling. Because for those people that are reaching out, you don't want to just be like, one sentence answer. So it's the fact that you take that much time out of your day. Are you going to continue doing that? Like the bigger and bigger that you get, do you think? Because I feel like it's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say I do it to every single one, but I mean, if I throughout the day, an hour, 2 hours, I do that. Like that's not going to take up too much of my time, whether I'm on a flight or I'm on, on the toilet, wherever I'm at. Like, I can try to respond to a few. So, I think I'll always kind of do that because that's kind of my mission statement. Like I really want to try to help out people that were in the same situation as I was, and kind of sometimes it's a mentality change, and that lending an ear or like just being able to give a little bit of advice will go a long way in some people's life.
Yeah.
We're talking to Snow the Product performing at Jannus Live October 7th. Can you speak on making that leap of faith? Because that's one of the things that our show, our podcast really encourages people to do, because you only got one life.
Yeah.
And going to a job or doing something daily, day in and day out that you hate, that's just such a drag on your soul. So, I mean, I can imagine it must have been so scary to make that I'm going to be a social worker to I want to be a rapper, live this rock star life, go on tour, and build a life. What was that leap of faith like in making that decision to decide to do that?
I mean, it was very scary. I was, I could definitely say I didn't know where I was going or what I was going to do, but I kind of felt like music was my only option.
Yeah.
I always kind of suffered with depression and anxiety my whole life. So, like, I felt like I knew for a fact that I wasn't going to last long doing what I was doing. So I was just like, this is the one thing that kind of leaves me some hope. Like, any day now I can wake up and I have a couple more fans, or like I get a phone call and somebody wants to book me, or like there was just at least some sort of hope in this route, you know what I mean? Like where I didn't know where I was going, but I knew there was hope. That was it.
Follow that. I would say so you're saying follow where you feel hopeful.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Follow where you feel excited. Like,
Mm.
you know, you don't want to go through like just kind of being, you know, good enough and
Going through the
rather
motions.
not. You know, you want to you want to kind of be somewhere where you feel like you're happy. You have a spark.
Mm.
You want to keep living. You know what I mean? So I
Right.
think those are the things that, you know, that kind of drive me. And as a human, you know, we're only here for not that long, so it's like just trying to make the most out of it. I'm teaching my son, you know, like go to school, do your thing, but you know, find a couple hobbies. Find one hobby that's gonna make you like work out. Find another hobby that could potentially turn into, you know, money. Like you have to have these hobbies that kind of like light your, you know, fire and make you excited for life. And that's all I can really give as advice to people, you know.
I love that.
That's so fantastic. Such a great message. It's so
On the money.
universal.
Mm.
Now, I know, Snow, you are part of the LGBTQ community. So am I. You can't see me, obviously, but
Awesome.
I'm a black man.
Oh, hi.
Hey. And you are Latino. So I know that from our cultures, being in the LGBTQ community isn't always the easiest. How have you worked through that in your community?
I mean, I kind of kept my head held high and was like, yep, this is who I am. You know, I know I didn't want to bow down to anybody or give excuses or reasons or whatever. I just was very like, you know, this is my identity, like, take it or leave it, you know, and I think that same sort of pride and that the way that I have been about everything has made a lot of people like kind of know, you know, like you're either gonna like me or not. So if you really want to be around me, you know, like you're gonna have to accept it.
Yeah.
And I think I'm a pretty fun, great person. So everybody around me kind of, you know, followed suit and been like, okay, cool, like whatever, that's your life. And I think definitely in the gay community, we've been doing big strides as to, you know, like let everybody know, you know, like kind of don't mess with us. Like it's like we're here and, you know, respect the lifestyle. And it's like just because, you know, just because I'm gay doesn't mean you're going to be gay by hanging out with me. So you're fine.
The gay doesn't
I
rub
mean, you
off.
might.
That's for anybody to decide on their own.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever had any backlash at all in your career so far because of it?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. I think Latino men are very macho. I think that's damn near where it comes from. You know what I mean? Like the whole macho word. But
Right.
and a lot of times, you know, people are just like, oh, is this for attention? Like, you know, I don't like that a lot of times, you know, straight women over sexualize the thought of being with other women. And unfortunately that does happen. You know, when you get a little Nas X, he's being loud, gay, and because he's a gay man. I think no straight men are going around pretending to be gay for shock factor, whereas women, they do it all the time, and they like to make out in videos, and they like to kiss each other, and they like to do all this stuff, which just kind of makes it a little more difficult for women who this is their lifestyle, because then when somebody sees me with my girlfriend, then like if we kiss somewhere, like they might think that we're doing that for attention, and guys are like, "Who can I join?" And it's like, dude, this is like, stop, you know. So it almost makes us kind of be like, we don't really like to kind of do certain things in front, you know what I mean? Like it's because it's, well, we don't want anybody to think this is for attention. So it does sometimes affect you in a roundabout way where you're just like, you know, I'm very proud of who I am and I'm very proud to have my girlfriend, but I don't want to ever give anybody the idea that this may be for attention.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a little weird, but it's all
It
right.
Navigating life when you have a bunch of different intersections of sexuality and race, it can be such a minefield sometime to navigate that. And especially being in the entertainment industry,
Yeah.
when you've got a record company that saying, hey, we got to hit these numbers, we got to hit these demographics.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, this is my life,
Yeah.
and this is also my art. I can imagine how that can sometimes be difficult to get through all of that.
Yeah, definitely. And doing the right thing, and represent, like supporting the right causes and speaking your mind whenever you feel like certain people don't really get the voice, and just like I do all those things, which every single time that I speak out on certain things, I lose quote unquote fans. I'm fine with losing people that will unfollow me for supporting the right thing, so I really don't care. But it's just one of those things where, yeah, like there's a lot of people that are very famous that won't speak up on certain things that could help and get the benefit from those communities, but they won't speak up. Whereas some of us that are doing the right thing, we're constantly getting shadow banned, or like we don't get to have the same reach because Instagram doesn't like certain words, or it sucks.
Yeah,
But it's
that's
cool,
tough because it's this balance of marketability from like not necessarily just a record label, but like just for example, marketability by a record label versus you wanting to be 100% authentic, and there's always going to be a clash in some way, and so it's difficult to navigate. I give you a lot of credit.
Thank you so much. And yeah, but sometimes that is the edge that we have, like as independent artists, like, we get to do whatever we want. So I do, like I just dropped the 24-hour freestyle where like my son made the V, and we made the video at my ranch, and like we shot it. We did everything in like 24 hours, and
Wow.
people are really loving it. Like because the fans then have a challenge too, and they have to get 15,000 comments, and it's just like it's cool to just kind of be able to do whatever and try new ways of being an artist and being engaged with my fans, because they know, as instead of having a label, like I have the fans, and like they have me, and we kind of stay authentic to each other, and it's really fun. And I think that's why the shows are so fun, because it is so engaged. It's not like people are standing there and just kind of like watching some girl scream at them. It's like, no, like we're the whole, like, I remember one time I literally went, and this was in San Francisco. I think it was in Northern California. I jumped, like I crowd surfed, and they carried me, like the crowd carried me all the way to the back where there was a bar.
Oh.
They held me there, and the bartender poured a shot in my mouth, and they crowd surfed back to the stage. I swear to God.
Oh yeah.
Crazy.
That's service.
Hey,
Right.
Okay?
your shows are
It was
lit.
crazy.
That's service.
Oh,
I
I
hope
love
they
it.
show you the same love at Jannus here in St. Pete. I really do. I'm sure they will.
Yeah, man.
That is so awesome. Snow the Product, thank you so much for sharing your time with us. How can people find you on social media if they're like, this has been awesome, I want to check out our music and go to the show? How can they find you on social media?
I mean, pretty much anywhere. Just know the product with the THA. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all the social media. And yeah, or just Google me and then just click on the videos tab, and it'll pop up.
There you
Awesome.
Oh yeah, I did that earlier, and I was like, oh
yes.
I was like, okay, Snow, you better get a girl. I love it. Well, thank you so much for spending time with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you guys for the invitation. Thank you.
Absolutely. And you can see Snow the Product at Jannus Live October 7th. Really awesome. I love talking to new artists like that, and just sort of, or not new, but
I was
like
gonna say she's not quite
Yeah,
new.
she's
but she's
millions
like
of followers.
on her own.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
independent.
she's not guarded, and
Right.
it's not like let's just stick strictly to music. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
well, tell me your story. Like, who
Yeah,
are you?
Makes
So
you
I
a
can-
human.
Right. I want to connect with you so I can like listen into your music and know this is where you come from,
Yeah.
and find some similarities and some connection in the music.
Now you care about a
Agreed.
little more.
That's awesome. I was so into that conversation. I had something in my brain I was going to bring up, but I completely forgot about what I was going to bring up. Anybody got something going on they won't talk about?
No.
No. No, nothing. Not a dang
Not
thing.
in this very moment.
Talk about anything. I don't know. I don't have anything particular.
No.
No.
Oh, you know what might be happening is I think my dad actually might meet my girlfriend's parents coming up like this next weekend.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that. Like that hasn't happened since like high school.
Oh.
Where it's like bring families together for like a dinner.
Bring families
Now,
together for dinners.
where is this? Is this happening here? They're not like traveling to Vero. Your dad's
No,
coming
no,
here?
my dad's coming over here to Tampa for the Bucks game, and my girlfriend discussed because her parents are about to leave, and so we're gonna do like a dinner. And I was like, well, my dad's already coming in town, and so now it's like, do we bring
Meet the
my
parents.
dad to meet her parents?
Oh.
And at first, I didn't really think much of it. Like I was kind of like that's fine. But then my girlfriend and I kind of looked at each other like, oh snap! Like
Big
that's a big deal. That's a pretty hefty move right there, Chief. So.
But I think it'll be like better than it might have, like, because she's met your dad, right?
Yes.
And you met her parents obviously multiple
Yes.
times. So I think that smooths things over, even though like you're always on the edge of your seat, because when the parents meet each other, that's
Yeah.
when it's like you have an eagle eye and you're like, what's going on? Like, do you think they like them? Do you think he likes that?
I think they're gonna get like the personalities that I see in both sides. I think would get along really well. It's just kind of like I just haven't done this pretty much again since like high school, where that really didn't matter. It was just kind of because you're in the same town and you go to the same things.
Yeah, you're
Right.
gonna
You're
have
like,
to like
oh, okay,
somebody's dad's
here's-
driving somebody.
Yeah, exactly. So this is like the first time it's actually happening. So I'm like, oh, we're really doing this. So I think it's happening like this
Wow.
Sunday coming up.
It's really interesting to think about that. I was actually talking with my fiance Abe about that yesterday, because I think we're about 80% sure, because we got to make a decision here in the next couple of weeks. We're not going to do like a traditional rehearsal dinner
Oh.
where you like go somewhere to a restaurant, or like you do the rehearsal and then I think because I want to have everybody sort of like mingle, like my immediate
Yeah.
family, his immediate family, before Saturday. So it's not just like, hey, we're joining families and we're meeting for the very first time.
Well, that's what the rehearsal dinner is usually for.
Right. But I want it to be more like mingling. So you're not just like sitting at a table. So that's
Not
why,
formal.
right. We're going to do it at our place,
Oh, okay.
and we're going to have it like catered
Oh,
and have it where people can like get something to eat, look around the house,
you need a DJ?
chit chat. Do you want a DJ?
Well, how much money you willing to put down for a DJ for the night? Wait, okay, y'all.
It's like, no, you can't. Just
You
like,
don't charge me.
you
I can
can't
charge you.
DJ because you're you. Like that would be like if you were off of the show one day, like when I'm like you had a day off, and then you called in to comment on like a topic, like a random person.
I kind of just want
It
to
would
be
be
there for
like,
the food. I know
is
it's gonna be good.
Is this Scott? And you'd be like, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
but
it's the same way. You can't be the DJ.
you know what are you gonna have for background music? What, your Alexa?
I don't know, girl. Yes, I'm gonna have
Yes.
my little Alexa. No, I don't know. We haven't gotten to that point yet.
I'm just throwing
This
it out
is
there. Go
just-
ahead, continue with your thing. But you know, that's how you put a plug. At
If-
Scott Tavlin on Insta.
Listen, I'm not paying you if you go DJ at this thing. What do
We'll
you think I
talk
made
about
of
it off
money?
air.
What do you think I made of money?
I don't know. Slide me a check. I don't know. I'll have a tip jar up for requests. There you go.
God.
Never mind. I'll get
Oh
paid on my own.
God.
Go ahead.
Well, I was talking to Abe's dad, and he was like, "So, like, who's your family? Like, who are the core members? Like, who do I need to make sure that I sit and have a conversation with?" And I was like, "Well, there's Uncle Philip, and then there's Uncle David." And then, like, as I'm thinking, I'm like, "This is gonna be really surreal." Like,
Yep.
because it's like when I go to Buffalo to visit Abe's family, it's just such a different world than
Oh,
when I go
snap.
home to Atlanta. And so just the thought of like my Uncle Philip with his nonsense talking to Abe's dad, and Abe's dad's telling dad jokes, and they're going back and forth. I was like, this is going to be a total mindfuck. Like, I can't wrap my brain around it.
I thought you were gonna say, really, just my mom. Like there'll be other people there.
Well, because I feel like in his family, from what I've gathered, the main big part of the family is his mom's brothers and sisters. And then like all the like partners and children that go from there.
Okay.
And so they're sort of like the core. And then Abe's dad, I believe, has a sister, but I don't think she lives like a town or two away. So I don't think she comes to a lot of stuff all the time.
Okay.
I could be completely wrong, but just from the events I've been to.
Yeah.
Whereas in my family, it's just my mom, obviously. And so she's got 3 brothers and a sister. And I'm like, it's really just those 4 that you've really got to talk to. And then from there is the cousins and
But
stuff
does
like
he have to
that.
talk to all of them?
No, I said that like,
Say hi.
right. No, I think having conversations with like the patriarch of our family, like Uncle David,
Yeah.
Tyrone and Philip, and if Auntie Mary shows up, like those are the ones that you really want to engage with and like get to know like the family history and or just whatever you do in a wedding just to get to know each other. I don't know.
Just talk.
Like,
yeah.
I'm like, listen, at this point, I'm just like, here's some food, here's some wine, just go. I don't know, whatever. So it's just it's gonna be a total mind fuck just looking at everybody just talking.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Like
It's like the different universes are colliding.
it is, and it's just such a different experience, and I'm just curious how my family's going to be with because their family's like close and they like talk and
Yeah.
communicate,
Yeah.
and so then my family's like, so
Will your brother be there?
that is the question.
Whoa.
Scott's talking about you paying him. I would pay you to be a fly on that wall if Kwanzi is over here talking to Mr. Gatakian.
Oh, or Abe's mom, Mary Angela. Like, I just
I
See, this is why I want to go. Okay, you don't have to pay me anymore. I just want to. I just want to go.
want to see.
Well, my mom right now, because they're in a little bit of a riff at the moment,
Yeah.
because my brother refuses to get vaccinated. And my mom, after having like a brain aneurysm and then like she had a foot injury, and she's like, I cannot be sick again.
Yeah,
I'm done. I'm in my 60s. I can't. And so she basically was like, you can't live with me anymore, because he just refused to get vaccinated, and he just really didn't have a good excuse why. He just said, I don't want to. And she was like, well, just can't live here anymore. So they haven't really spoken since then. So my mom is like, I don't know if he's going to come, but if he's not vaccinated, he ain't coming. And I was like, you know what? I'll let y'all work that out.
Yeah, that's not like you got other stresses you got to worry
You don't
about.
need to worry about
Yeah,
that.
I'm literally not even letting that get to my orbit. I'm like, he has the details. You and him can talk and work it out. But I would just, I hope he does get vaccinated, because I would really enjoy watching just the interactions.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just thinking about like Abe's aunt, like Aunt Glore, like just sitting down and talking to
It's literally 2 worlds, 2 different lives coming together. It's so cool.
It's a good time.
Yeah. So all those plans are coming together now. But yeah, so that's what we're planning on doing instead of a rehearsal dinner. So
Okay.
and Holly, you will be invited to come.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks. Oh, shit.
Girl, everybody wants to meet Holly and Scotty. Like, my whole family knows you, but you haven't met a lot of them.
That's very true.
But we've worked together now since 2008.
I'm like, oh, hey, fam.
Right. So you know the names and stuff, probably not the faces, but you know the names.
Correct.
And so, just seeing
I
them.
got to get a whole second outfit.
Nah, girl, it's gonna be casual. It's not gonna be anything.
Oh.
We had this whole thing yesterday because Abe's in Buffalo and he was talking with his mom, and they called me, and his mom was like, What's the dress code for people that are attending? And I was like, it's like a cocktail hour, like sort of like casual, not like super formal, anything like
You're
that.
talking about for the rehearsal dinner?
No, for like the actual wedding.
Oh,
She was
it's
like,
cash.
what are
I
people?
thought it would be black tie. What are you doing?
No, not black tie, because I don't want it to be like
Oh.
that. Because like black. Yes, I'm sorry, getting mixed up the terms in my head. I don't want tuxes, but like if you want like to like wear a suit,
Okay,
something
cool.
nice. But like if you went to a nice cocktail hour rooftop bar place that was fancy, that's the dress code.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, right.
So it does need to be a little bit fancier.
Right.
Upper
Like you
casual
can't
kinda.
show up with like jeans and a sweater.
I will swat you in the face.
Okay, all right.
I will swat
That's what
you
I'm
in
saying.
the
But you need to make that clear.
Yeah.
But
Oh, it won't
slacks
be
and a
clear.
sweater,
Well,
different story.
Yeah, no, well, see that's where we lean on the wedding planner to like have that verbiage because he understands all that.
Yes.
Because I'm like, I just wanted to be fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes. You
that's
put
what
a
I'm
lot
saying.
of time and money and effort into this thing.
Gonna be fancy.
Make it the way you want to do it. Your wedding is probably like, the more I think about it, it's like going to be one of the crazier weddings I've ever gone to, which I'm super pumped for. Like
Crazier.
the
What
way
does that
you
mean?
talk about it, as in like just fancy. Like I've been to a
Mm.
lot of weddings, but just the way you talk about it, the things that are coming together, I'm like, it's about to be a fancy ass wedding. I've never been to a fancy ass wedding.
Oh.
I'm excited.
I mean, I want it because we live in Florida. We work at a radio station. So like we don't do fancy stuff.
We don't get to do fancy stuff that
No.
often.
It's like, and then it's too fucking hot to do anything to dress up fancy like.
True.
And so I'm like, I just want this one time where we have nice pictures of everybody.
Oh, it's good.
Everybody's looking, they're just slaying it and
Well,
just feeling and looking
That's
their
what
best.
weddings are for. And I know some people want to have like a relaxed wedding, and that's you, and that's fine.
Right.
Yes.
But like for me, this is a personal thing. How often do you get to get fancy?
Right.
Like once I graduated college and we stopped having formals.
Right.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
when you put on a suit now.
Yeah, when do you do it? And like, give me an excuse to do it
Mhm.
because
Oh.
there's just not. There isn't.
Right.
One time we had a work Christmas party, and I went like all out and had like a fancy slinky long dress on and everything because I
Oh,
was like,
slinky.
there's when else? Like, I'm not gonna go out to dinner on a Saturday night with my
No.
person.
Wait, why not?
I will. I mean, I will go out to dinner on a
Gotcha.
Saturday night with my person.
Well,
Yeah, that
yeah.
one.
But I'm not wearing like a sexy, slinky, like
Right.
cocktail outfit because it feels.
Well, then you're just going to dinner.
Yeah,
Like,
well, if you go to
you
like a
just-
fancy day, like I feel like you could be intentional about be like, all right, the 3rd of November, we're gonna have a fancy ass date night. Like,
but what are you
for
gonna
that
do?
excuse.
Where are you
But
gonna go?
What do you
Like,
want
I'm
to
not gonna
do?
go
The
to
outfit's
Burns.
just to
Like,
feel fancy. Yeah, you go out and get drinks somewhere nice. You go out to a nice dessert place. You create the atmosphere and the environment for the fanciness and not have to have a fancy. Or as we did recently, we went ballroom dancing. They have those things set up where it is an excuse to get dressed up and go do something fun. You just got to be like literally like search it out. It's not your.
Mm.
It's not a casual. Hey, we're going out for just dinner. Put your fanciest on, unless you're like extremely rich and you go to like rich people places. I don't know what that dress code's like.
What are rich people?
I don't
places?
know, but I'm sure there's places that like you gotta dress up and you gotta wear a tux. Haven't been there. Don't even know what it's called. But you go to like a fancy bar. You look up these places that have like nice dancing going on. Boom, dress it up. Look
Mm.
sexy as hell.
All right.
Just a thought. That's a no.
All right.
We need-
I've backed off.
We need.
No, you can back on.
I disagree with Scott.
Shut
I
up.
think
You
that
can't just wait for only weddings to get dressed up and fancy.
I'm just saying it is hard.
I know. That's why it's like I
Because-
just want to change the way we do.
Well, no,
things.
because then at least, because listen, like at a wedding, like I'm encouraging even friends that live here to like get a hotel room at the place where the wedding is. So, because like I this is why I don't like dressing up and then going, because you get dressed up and you got it, your dress or your suit's all pressed. Then you got to get an Uber and you got to go drive for 40 minutes somewhere, and then it's Florida, you're gonna sweat, so then you feel like kind of like damp. Whereas like if you stay at the hotel, you can go bring all your stuff, get dressed, walk down to the place, you feel good.
Well, that's
you
the
look
good thing about whenever, because wait a minute. I'm about to like make someone mad if I'm wrong, but I don't think I've ever been to a wedding here.
In Florida?
Hold on.
Oh no.
in Tampa Bay.
Like in Tampa Bay.
Oh man.
Yes, you have
I have.
to.
Oh, yeah. I
Yes.
Jen and Chase. Went
Yes,
to Jen and Chase.
yeah. I'm gonna say you went to their wedding.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
That was real fancy.
That was super fancy
Oh.
because I was gonna say it's difficult to do it when you don't stay at the hotel. I remember their wedding now
Ah.
because usually
Yeah,
I
book
feel like
that
I
hotel
fly
room.
out of town to go to weddings, and it's
Mm.
easy when you're just in the hotel and zoop to
Right.
wherever it is.
Yeah.
But it is like you have to like really go for broke at home,
Mhm.
and then it's like, what are we doing with this Uber or this?
Right.
Did I crush my dress in someone's car?
And then
Or-
the
Gotta hold back a
Uber,
little bit.
like they save money on air conditioner, so it's kind of like warm
yeah,
and moist in their
the
car.
wilted
and
looking
you're like,
now.
then you like crumple out of the damn Uber, and you're like,
Well, you're not in the mood for it anymore.
I looked nice 30 minutes ago, but now
I gotta figure out if I'm gonna get a hotel room.
You
for guys or
should.
not.
You
I
should let
do.
loose. Go. You have a couple months.
I do have a couple months.
you should. You
You
should.
should.
We have actually a good rate. And our wedding planner looked all around because there was I was upset because there was talks that some of my family wanted to get like a big Airbnb, and I'm like, y'all just stay at the fucking hotel. Like it's so far and it's just easier because then you got to get a rental
Yes.
to drive around, and you're not going to be here that long. Just be in the hotel. Everything is at the hotel. It's just easier that way.
And when you go down to just chill in general, like you're probably gonna run into other people that are there for the wedding. It's just gonna be that environment everywhere.
Right, absolutely. And then like because the wedding planner looked at hotels all around the area for that weekend, and because Gasparilla is the next weekend and it's the kids Gasparilla that weekend, everywhere else is like twice more expensive than what the rate that the hotel gave us.
Mm.
So I'm like, just fucking stay at the hotel. This is
Yeah.
way
Make
better.
it. Did they decide?
Yeah. Well, my mom told one of my cousins that was gonna tell Uncle David, the patriarch of the family, to be
Oh.
like, stay at the
Hotel.
hotel. Stay at a hotel.
Yeah.
So I think they're gonna book some rooms this week coming up. So
Hell yes.
you can go
good.
through the wedding website and you can book there.
What's the wedding website?
I didn't even know there's a wedding website.
Yeah,
There's
it
a
was
wedding
on
website?
it was on the save the date, but
Oh,
it wasn't
shoot.
really prominent. But I mean, you don't have to do anything with it now.
Oh,
Okay.
snap.
When the invitations go out, that's where you will RSVP through that.
Oh, we didn't get
Okay.
it. Oh, I didn't even know we didn't get that yet.
Yeah, no, you haven't gotten it yet. Like I'm sort of freaking out because I'm like, oh my God, it just feels like it's so close. But
It
the
is.
but
Yeah.
the
It
wedding
I mean,
planner
it
tomorrow.
kind of is.
but he says traditionally it's 3 months before the wedding, and that's when you send out the invitation.
Yeah.
So next month?
yeah, so they'll be
Oh,
going out in a
snap.
couple of weeks. So we're gonna start getting all that together. So it's just it's so much. And then Aid comes back today, and then we are. Oh, I forgot to tell you all.
What?
I forgot. This is because it's all came together this weekend. We have our tasting for the dinner next weekend or next week.
Oh.
Yum.
Yeah. So once I get more details, I'll talk about that on the actual show and on the podcast. But I'm super excited that we get our tasting next week.
Do we have it like, are you allowed to reveal like what kind of food you're tasting, or like is that a secret, or is it like chicken or fish? Like I had fish this past weekend at a wedding, pretty good.
I don't remember. I know that I wanted options
Yeah.
because as a non-fish eater,
Yeah, no.
I wanted there to be options, and I don't remember. All I know is that Abe was very adamant that it's not a buffet, that it's
Yeah,
Oh,
they
yeah.
serve you.
Yeah, I'm telling you, if a couple is able to afford it, go with the sit down, because it's just in your fancy clothes. It is difficult to maneuver a buffet. Now I understand there's a price thing.
Oh
and
yeah.
I get it. That's not to say the buffets don't have delicious food.
Oh, they do.
I've had some
Oh, yeah.
amazing food at a buffet.
Mm.
It's just my personal preference to not balance a plate and also be walking in my fanciness. It's a
True.
little bit tricky, but that's just my personal preference.
On the YouTube, we're live right now. Francisco just asked, Miguel, are you having buffalo chicken wings? So that was literally, we have had so many meetings about that with the hotel. So
damn wings.
it's not going to be like part of the dinner. Like the dinner is going to be the fancy part,
Yeah.
but like we're splitting the reception into 2 parts. So there'll be the ballroom part where the dinner and then like the speeches and stuff like that. And then like the first couple dances. And then for like the older people that don't want to go to like the club part, because that was my big thing, is like I wanted to feel like a fun club, like a club night.
Hell yeah.
So we're gonna go. So we're gonna get the whole rooftop of the hotel to ourselves. And
Oh
so
my
then
God.
they're gonna roll out like buffalo wings for Abe, and then also some sliders for me. And we'll have those like late night snacks to eat on. But
Yeah.
Abe was like very persistent. He was like, the wings have to be crispy. They got to be like they're from Buffalo, New York.
Yeah.
And the poor people at the hotel, they're like, our chef is like a 5-star chef.
Abe's like, I don't care what he is.
Right.
Like, is he from Buffalo?
Does he know how to make wings right? I don't care what kind of foie gras he's throwing down. Will the wings be double crispy?
And so we have to test all that out. So yes, we will have them on the second part. Let's see, are there any more questions that we needed to get to before we taste the fun part? Doe says, y'all want to be fancy? You'll be lucky if I wear jeans at Miguel and Holly Live. For Miguel and Holly
That's
Live,
fine. I'm gonna wear jeans at Miguel and Holly Live. That's part of my outfit, and I like a t-shirt.
I think I wanna be fancy for the beginning part of it.
Yeah.
And then depending upon like, I have to look at the schedule of things, but like when we do Tampa Bay Secrets, like I imagine we'll be sitting on stools.
Okay.
And so I don't want to be fancy for that, because I want to be able to like move around and react and stuff as we're doing it. But in the beginning part, when we come out and however we come out, I want to feel fancy.
They
that.
sent me, our guy that does such things sent me like the latest run of show.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay.
So I haven't had a chance to look at it because he sent it.
Did he send it to all of us? Can you send it to me? if
No,
you
I
didn't?
think he just sent it to me.
Oh,
Just to me. He said this is the most recent timeline for the night. Here, I'm gonna forward it real quick.
that'd be
Okay.
great.
Yeah. And we
Miguel.
also, we should do. Oh, fuck, I'm gone this weekend. We should this week or next week. We should go to lunch and just sort of talk through.
That'd be great.
That would be great.
You should make a
everything.
fancy lunch too.
I almost
Right.
kind of
We could
want to
dress
tell
up.
you what it is, but I don't want to tell you what it is. Look at this.
What is it?
I'm just looking at the.
Oh,
Oh,
the
no, keep it
rundown?
secret.
I know
yeah.
it's got to be secret, but
Yeah.
I'm just looking to see.
Let me see what.
Oh
Okay,
God, I
so
won't look.
Yeah, I want to be. Well, that's the thing. Like, I want to buy a nice outfit, like a statement piece.
Oh, when you first walk in.
Yeah, so
mine's gonna
that's
be, like,
gonna have to be
swagger.
that, and then we're gonna have to change maybe at some point for that, and then we have a thing for that, and then Alessia Cara at
Right.
some point is
Yeah,
gonna be there.
especially, you know what? I think that we should. Oh crap! I forgot we have a call.
What
Hold
call?
on. We're talking to our sister station morning show in Orlando. They
Oh.
need some help with something.
Oh, I
Oh.
didn't know that.
Hey, can we call you in like 3 minutes?
Casual. Remember, this one best podcast.
Sorry,
So
we're
we're
finishing
the-
up our podcast.
We're
Sorry.
the best podcast.
we take
Okay,
calls
bye.
in the middle of a podcast.
Wait, hold on, Kevin. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
All right. Yes, we won best podcast for this sort of riveting content.
Shenanigans that's happening right now.
So I think in talking about outfits, Holly and Scott, I think that we should have like a fancy, like you said, statement outfit for the beginning.
Yeah.
And then maybe put that on for the interview with Alessia Cara.
Like, put that same thing back on.
Put that back on.
Okay.
And then, because don't we have the VIP meet and greet? Is it after
Yes,
the show?
it's after.
And then
Oh, it
we
is.
put that back on after the show for the VIP pictures and stuff like that.
All right, so that outfit will get at least 3 uses.
Yeah. So I mean, listen, if you're gonna like spend some money on buying a fancy outfit, at least you're getting 3 different.
That's the thing. I needed to know how many fancy outfits to get. Like, are we talking 2 or 3? But I'll just get the one,
Right.
and then it'll be like sort of casual. I know at
Performance
some point
one.
we need a performance for
Right.
headphone karaoke.
I gotta figure that out now. I gotta really
17 days.
All right, I really got to order that thing.
Yeah,
Okay, I
yeah.
got to
Mhm.
fancy, casual. Did somebody say something? It's fine. You know what?
Tickets
the
now.
end.
Hot1015tampabay.com.
Mhm.
Fancy, casual.
So then I would say like,
Oh, let's not forget the chicken costume.
Oh, yeah.
Where's
so I feel like then Holly for Blown Off, when we do our welcome, there's a video. Then we're gonna be playing the Blown Off that we've never been able to play.
Yeah.
I don't know how long
I
you'd
don't
be.
think he has everything listed here. This is not complete. We
Oh,
need
it's not?
No, because I can't see. There's no 50 Shades of Chicken in here.
Oh, that's right.
Gonna have to
I
bump
don't
it
know
in.
where we're gonna put this.
Squeeze it.
Okay. Squeeze the chicken, girl.
Girl, squeeze that chicken.
Squeeze it in.
All right. Well, there you go.
Oh, geez, I really gotta figure this out.
Well, we'll sit down. And now that I'm
Yeah.
seeing it, it's giving me a little bit more. I can sort of direct what your outfits or like what sort of outfits you want to look for.
That's
you wanna
all.
get.
That's all I need. And like my poor boss man Will, when he was like, "Just do you," I'm like,
What does that mean?
"Thank you for the most unhelpful comment." And I appreciate him though, because I know he's trying to make us feel good, but like
Mm-hmm.
not helpful.
But yeah, buy your tickets like Scott said, hot1015tampabay.com. Get your tickets, $29, general admission. Scott, what's all of your social media?
At Scott Tavlin, SCOTTTAVLIN.
Holly,
Radio Holly, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram.
Miguel Fuller, MiguelFuller. You can find me everywhere. Make sure to leave us a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. Thanks again to Snow the Product for coming on
Yes.
and chatting with us,
Yeah.
promoting her show coming up October 7th at Jannus Live. And once again, thank you for making us the best podcast in Tampa Bay.
Come
Oh my
on,
God, our
baby.
best podcast too.
Wait, what did we win?
No, best podcast.
Well, yeah, but also the best podcast.
Oh, that's really
Also
cool.
that, yeah.
Well, I think one of the things that really meant a lot as I was thinking about the weekend is that we won Best Podcast.
Oh my God.
And it was really cool to open up the Creative Loafing and see we won Best Podcast.
I agree, but not as much as I agree about the win for best podcast.
But you know, I think... No,
We're
we're
done.
done. Bye.
Bye.